There we go. We are back. The greatest podcast on turf is back. We are taking a break from the NFL/fantasy content for the next week or two. We're off next week, and then the week after we come back with fantasy. So this week we're going to be touching on the NBA. Now that the Warriors won the NBA Finals, we're going to be talking about our NBA free agency predictions and what teams need to do to repeat their success from next season or to not repeat their failures from last season. For our YouTube exclusive segment, we kind of went through the NBA playoffs and talked about our biggest takeaways, things we learned type of deal. So be sure to check that out. That was a YouTube exclusive segment. If you are watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button and drop a like, please. It would mean a whole lot to us. Trying to get monetized so we can get famous already and get the recognition that we deserve. If you are listening to this podcast, be sure to drop a follow as long as you're not driving. And let's get into it.
Starting off, we'll start off with the worst team in the West. We'll start with the West first because I feel like the West is better than the rest. The Houston Rockets.
I mean,
what do you do in this situation if you're the Houston Rockets? Well,
step one is get rid of John Wall.
Step two, you tear down the organization, move to a whole new city, and just restart.
They have a nice young core in Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green. Kevin Porter Jr. is a stud. Jalen Green was not bad for a rookie.
Kevin Porter Jr. stud is a little bit of a stretch.
I think Kevin Porter Jr. is a fucking baller.
I think you think that because he has tattoos.
I don't think so. And then they just traded Christian Wood. And what did they bring in for Christian Wood?
Not shit, I don't believe. They got, crappy players.
They got
a bunch of crappy players.
The number 26 overall pick, Trey Burke, Marquise Chris, and the 7'6" Boban Marjanovic.
Crappy players. It was a salary dump, I suppose. John Wall needs to go. Dennis Schroeder needs to go.
I didn't even realize he was on the team.
He's a free agent, I believe. So I guess it's not a huge problem for them. I don't know. Honestly, you just got to rebuild the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
I believe they probably picked high in the draft.
In terms of free agency, no. Just like Ryan says for the NFL, you don't bring in any free agents. And
if you're not, kind of ready.
Yeah, the Rockets, by no fact of the matter or any stretch of the matter, are they ready?
Considering they picked third in the draft, I don't think they're ready at all.
It's fair.
Thunder, though. Good for them.
The Thunder.
Oh, Thunder's
Don't they
next.
have, 7 first-round picks this year?
The Thunder have full potential to be the best team ever.
Literally. They have so many fucking first-round picks.
So many first-round picks, so many young players that are just studs of athletes.
Yeah. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. For
Trey Mann,
Trey
Giddey.
Mann's a stud. Josh Giddey's a baller. I love that guy.
They have picks 2, 12. 2 and 12. I mean, that's...
And then,
that's
in the upcoming years, what do they have? Every pick ever?
I think that's literally what they did. And in order to keep this team on track, you literally just have to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You got Lou Dort, who's also a stud of a dude.
That guy can ball.
You really just need to keep adding young guys, and eventually one of these guys will be a superstar with just the probability. If you just keep adding a shit ton of players, one of these guys got to be good.
There's at least one good player from every draft class.
And they have every single pick in every single draft class. So
in theory, jinx, they should have a team full of LeBrons.
Exactly. In terms of who should go off this team, there's literally nobody that should go. They're paying everybody less than $3 million.
They have a lot of money and a lot of picks. Do it right.
Just don't rush. Just be patient. Don't go out there and sign Russell Westbrook. Because that's some shit y'all would do.
Go get Donovan Mitchell. They don't even need him. They got Shai.
I wouldn't bring in Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell is a little bit of a rush. You're paying him.
That's fair.
Get your superstar on a rookie deal, and then you can bring in your guy. Until you get your superstar, just chill.
Then you get LeBron and Bronny in a couple of years.
If that's what you really want to do.
The Trailblazers.
I don't think they got shit going for them.
I think they're going to make a splash and try and bring in another superstar to play besides Dame. Brad Beal's a name that comes to mind. Donovan Mitchell. Even making a splash. Not saying DeAndre Ayton's a superstar, but going and getting a solid big man with high potential. They don't have a shot anyway, but if they even want a shot, they have to build around Dame. They have Anthony Simons, who's a stud. He was in the dunk contest 2 years ago, and he bursted on the scene this year. I know him because I PC his cards, his rookie cards. I think he's going to be a stud. He was a baller this year. I think he's going to be good. So they have Anthony Simons, Dame Lillard, and don't think anybody else.
No, this team sucks. Eric Bledsoe needs to go. He's getting paid $18
Eric
million.
Bledsoe's on that team?
Yeah.
God.
Greg Brown, Texas. That dude had the nastiest dunk I've probably ever seen in college basketball. Josh Hart. Nice. Glad he's on the squad.
That was part of the C.J. McCollum trade. Forgot about that.
This team is not good. They got I guess, you can't really restart with 31-year-old Damian Lillard, but you kind of have to
figure it out. Is that Larry Nance Jr.?
Probably.
No, at the bottom?
The problem is with this team is that you're in Portland.
Yeah.
And you got lucky with Dame staying all this time, but literally not a single person wants to go to Portland.
I'm telling you, I think they're going to go. I think they're going to try and make a splash in the Bradley Beal market.
So Bradley Beal wants to come to Portland.
I don't know how athletes think. I
can tell you how I can tell you how two people in his room think. Do you want to go to Portland?
Do I want to go play with Dame Lillard?
Would you rather go to Portland or would you rather go to any other place?
I understand. I see what you're saying. I'm just saying I think
Miami.
I understand, but I think in terms of what Portland is going to do, I think they're going to go try and make a splash and bring in another big-name guy to go play with Damian Lillard.
Would you rather go to Portland or the Knicks?
Probably the Knicks. They have a better future setup. They have a lot of young studs.
And that's the problem because there's a lot of teams out there. They're Portland, you're literally screwed. Portland, the place of Portland is not that good of a place.
Portland, Oregon. Tell you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's full of country folk, but it's just not one of the upper echelon cities that you'd want to go, especially on the West Coast when there's literally California that's just kind of beating you up a little bit.
Portland's beat, it sounds like.
The Kings, who also suck.
I really don't know. They still have De'Aaron Fox. They just traded Tyrese Halliburton for Domantas Sabonis for some reason.
You try to go back in time and fix that trade is your first.
Why would you? Tyrese Halliburton was a stud.
They had DiVincenzo, dog.
Who do they have on that team besides De'Aaron Fox?
Rashawn Holmes are going to have to pay that man a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I'm sure they will because they're poverty.
Mitchell from Baylor.
Davion Mitchell.
He's a
stud. Domantas. In theory, Sabonis was an all-star. De'Aaron Fox had potential.
Sabonis, remember what we were talking about earlier with Andre Drummond? And
you might be right.
Because I think I could go be good for the Pacers. Shit.
Trey Lyles, Alex Len, Jeremy Lamb still is in the NBA.
Josh Jackson, Justin Holiday, Drew's brother.
Jesus.
DiVincenzo with Harrison Barnes. Barnes getting paid the most on the team.
How much money does Harrison? I don't even want to know.
20.
Yeah, sounds about right. That's what Duncan Robinson's getting paid to sit on the bench for.
At least Harrison Barnes is playing basketball.
Yeah.
If you're the Kings, what do? You build around Mitchell and De'Aaron Fox. I'm not really sure.
They bought in.
Why you draft Mitchell with De'Aaron Fox?
They bought in Sabonis, so they're trying to do something.
They got rid of their.
They got rid of their probably arguably their best player, second best player. Halliburton was a baller.
People were putting Halliburton above Fox as potential types.
Well, because it was pretty much what that situation came down to was who do they want to build the team around, Fox or Halliburton?
And they chose
Fox.
Fox and Sabonis.
They did their thing. Thad Young's a free agent. He's probably Harrison Barnes. What do you even do?
You just stay the course and start being the Thunder.
I guess. Mo Bamba's a free agent. Go get that guy so we can sing about him.
This next team is...
who do we got next?
The Lakers.
Yeah.
Embiid.
Step one.
Oh my goodness.
Get rid of Russell Westbrook. That's literally it. Figure it out. Get Russell Westbrook out of there. Trade Anthony Davis.
I heard they're in the market for Bradley Beal
and Kyrie. They don't have any money.
If you get them to, props to y'all for that.
If they figure it out, then that just proves the salary cap is not a real thing.
They would have to get rid of Russ, and then if they bring in Kyrie or Bradley Beal, I would feel a lot better about this team.
I think they got to get rid of Anthony Davis.
Huh?
Anthony Davis hasn't been on shit.
Huh? I think you got to get rid of Westbrook.
Westbrook. So I think Anthony Davis got to go too, and you build around LeBron the right way. Don't let the GM do his thing.
GM's done his thing. This is the GM.
I understand, and that's why I'm saying get the GM the F out.
Oh, you're saying okay.
I'm saying you tell LeBron sit back and let somebody competent who literally gets paid millions of dollars to build a team around LeBron. It's not hard to build a team around LeBron. It's the same thing the Sixers had to do. You bring in a bunch of perimeter shooters and an elite big man for LeBron to just play point guard and spread the floor. LeBron can facilitate the floor. He doesn't have a good three-pointer. That's why you let LeBron drive, draw a double team, dump it out to your lockdown shooter. Problem solved. The Lakers win the finals every year forever.
Just give him Kyrie back.
Yeah. Give LeBron Kyrie. If you can keep Anthony Davis in that deal, you have arguably probably the best big three in the NBA. But, I mean, it's not hard. LeBron just – I love it. I love LeBron to death. He's not – he just does, LeBron –
he's not a good GM.
GM is the guy that looks at what the media says and all the memes and, the mock trades and what the media says he should do and does it.
I mean, I've always been a firm believer if you put the best basketball players on the court, they can make it work. But for some reason, this team was not possible in making that work.
You got to build the team around LeBron. Russell Westbrook is literally LeBron if he was a point guard. Can't shoot, dominant force, aggressive.
I know.
Not as good on defense. LeBron is a point. Russell Westbrook is point LeBron.
Anthony Davis is a stud if he's healthy.
He's just a big
healthy.
Old bitch and can't stay healthy.
Anthony Davis is probably the best big man on the court if he's healthy. He's probably better than Giannis if he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, there was that argument there when he was healthy, but he just can't stay healthy. It's
stay healthy for the shit.
My thumb hurts. My thumb, my ankle.
Sounds familiar.
I
love that shit up there. Oh, my thumb. Anyways,
the Lakers build the right team around LeBron. The Cavs figured it out because LeBron wanted it. Kyrie wanted it. Kevin Love wanted it. I would not be mad if they went out and got Kevin Love and Kyrie and ran it back. I would not be mad. I'd be for it.
I would be backing this team.
You got to get rid of Russell Westbrook. You got to figure out a way to get Anthony Davis to stay healthy. I don't know if that's just him being a bitch or if just he's made of glass bones.
Just don't play him until the playoffs.
You got to figure it out. You got to surround LeBron with stud shooters to let LeBron just take the ball, drive, draw a double team, dump it out to Anthony Davis or one of your elite shooting guards, and let them do their thing. Russell Westbrook was literally, we were all for it, sure, when it happened, because like you said, normally you put the best players on one team and they'll win.
The best shooter on his team is Austin Reeves.
Who? Exactly. Who?
You sound like a fake fan.
It was sarcastic, but I'm saying, who the hell is Austin Reeves?
Wayne Ellington.
God Glenn's cousin.
Yeah. I was going to say, don't talk shit.
Anyways, moving on from the Lakers. I said my piece.
The Spurs, baby.
Same situation as Portland.
Well, we're in... Whoa. We don't have Dame Lillard holding us down.
That's fair.
Spurs, what do? You kind of just stay the course. Doug McDermott, that was...
Dougie McBuckets.
Stupid.
College NBA... NCAA basketball March Madness legend.
Yeah, we shouldn't have brought him in. I mean, Lonnie Walker's probably going to end up leaving because we're not paying him the amount that he wants.
Lonnie Walker hasn't been worth a goddamn since he got to the NBA.
The dude wants a shit ton of money.
And he has not been worth a damn.
But I mean, DeJounte Murray was solid. Keldon Johnson was solid last year.
Keldon was a stud.
Devin Vassell showed flashes. Yeah. We have Romeo Langford, Boston legend.
Trey Jones ain't bad. I mean, you guys.
I mean, if we're being honest, it's Keldon Johnson, DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassell, and you can just keep the rest.
Yeah.
We have 3 first-round picks. Just draft and
try to build through the draft. And I mean, Popovich probably don't got much time left.
No, just try to establish something for when Pop leaves. Should have brought in the dude from Boston because he was a Spur, but it's fine. Ship sailed on that.
Yep.
Not much to talk about there, but the Clippers. They're next. Now, this team we can talk about a little bit because...
I mean, they're getting Kawhi back. Paul George will be back. They're fine.
Terrence Mann has shown flashes. I feel like he's about to get paid.
Is Terrence Mann and Trey Mann related?
He's from Florida State, and Trey's from Florida.
They could be like cousins or brothers or something.
Norman Powell, that was just stupid.
Yeah.
Robert Covington, probably not smart either. Nicholas Batum.
Bum.
At least he's not getting paid that much.
I mean, they have Paul George and Kawhi. They'll be fine. I mean, they've proved they can play together before.
And playoff Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson's been a stud for them. He got his career revived.
Honestly, you have Kawhi. You have Paul George. You picked your two superstars. That's literally all you can do.
The team almost made the playoffs without him.
Rebuild with your bench players, or rebuild role players. You know, PJ Tucker would look nice on this team. I would hate to play this team with Paul George, Kawhi, and PJ Tucker. Because all three of them can shoot threes, and all three of them defend like hell.
Yeah, that's three of the best defensive players in the NBA.
Especially if they still had Pat Bev.
Oh my god!
I would hate to play this damn team.
Yeah,
I would be pissed off against this team.
The Clippers will be fine, though. I mean, as much as I shit on the Clippers, they got Kawhi, who's a top 3 player in the NBA when he's healthy.
1, they're in LA. 2, they have Kawhi.
And Paul George. I mean, it's big market, big name players. They're fine. If they want any free agent, I'm sure they can have them.
Pelicans.
Figure it out with Zion. I'm not sure what they're doing. I mean, is Brandon Ingram a good basketball player? Or is he just an average Joe? I mean,
what do you mean?
Like Brandon Ingram, like you would think.
You have to give me some players because he's not an average Joe.
Like, is he like just like a?
I think he.
Is he like a Lonzo Ball, just a serviceable starter, or is he like all-star, like can carry a team?
Okay, because all-stars don't necessarily have to carry a team, so I'll put him at like. I think he can be with like a Jaylen Brown.
Can he be the team's number 1?
Probably not, but I think he can be a Jaylen Brown.
That's fair.
Like that tier of player. I'm trying to think of more players like that.
So you got like the all.
He could be like Andrew Wiggins is an all-star. He could be.
Yeah.
He's probably better than Andrew Wiggins.
Or
he's right there with him.
Yeah.
Like I think I don't know. Like Chuck says, bus driver. I don't know if he can be a bus driver.
It's fair.
But he can sit up there.
Yeah.
Can Zion be a bus driver?
Sure. I fucking hope so. That was supposed to be the next LeBron. Jesus Christ.
CJ McCollum. And Brandon Ingram is like CJ McCollum.
Yes. There you go. Pretty good second.
Probably a little bit better though.
Kira Lewis showed flashes. They have like Tony Snell plays for that team.
Devontae Graham. I mean, this team.
I forgot they had Devontae Graham.
Valanciunas, Tony Snell, Mr. Literally Don't Do Shit.
Larry Nance, Kira Lewis, Herb Jones, Willie Hernan-Gomez, Jackson Hayes is all right.
I feel like this team was literally just good chemistry.
Yeah.
Happened to make it because the West was kind of fell off a little bit this year.
It was very
I don't know what they're gonna do with Zion. I guess that's what's holding him back. It's the only thing that's holding him back. Dude's 284 pounds. That's probably a problem.
Zion is a defensive tackle, playing power forward in the NBA.
He's probably bigger than a defensive end.
He's, what, 6'8", 280?
6'6", 280.
God damn. That's a big boy.
And Garrett Temple's 6'5", 195. Tony Snell is 6'6", 213.
That's the problem right there. Pelicans, I mean, they have a solid young core on paper. Devontae Graham, Kira Lewis, Jackson Hayes, Zion, Brandon Ingram. I mean, CJ McCollum is that veteran guard presence. I mean,
if this team was like healthy, like, and they were like full speed.
If Zion lives up even close to the potential and the expectations he had, they'll be fine. Like, if Zion can come back this year and prove everyone wrong and play a full season healthy, I think they'll be fine.
Because I think like that, they're
well, I'm not saying they're going to go
Grizzlies, or they're the same as the Grizzlies.
They're about the same as the Grizzlies. They're about
if Zion is what people thought he was, they're better than the Grizzlies.
I'd say they're like the Timberwolves. A healthy Pelicans team is the Timberwolves.
Brandon Ingram's way better than Memphis' number 2. And Zion was like supposed to be better than Ja.
Yeah.
If Zion's the same as Ja, I think this team's better. Because you also got CJ McCollum too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's next?
Zion ain't doing shit though, so it don't matter. Timberwolves.
We talked about this on our YouTube exclusive segment. If you haven't checked it out already, be sure to check it out. Figure it out. Karl Towns sucks. Just like I said, I think you got to build around Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards proves that he is that guy. D'Angelo Russell wasn't bad alongside him. You just got to build around Anthony Edwards.
D'Angelo Russell, man.
I don't either, but I mean, he was good. He wasn't.
Would you rather have Cat or Russell? They're both getting paid the same.
Russell.
I'm taking Cat.
Nah, he sucks. Karl Anthony Towns. I don't think
Russell's that much better.
I mean, yeah, but you need
what?
With a player like Anthony Edwards, you need a stud big man, not Karl Towns, who sure he's good, and then he's gonna so inconsistent. You need somebody.
I'm sorry, but who's a stud big man? Who's better than Karl Anthony Towns?
Like available or like in the NBA?
Do in the NBA.
Embiid, Rob Williams, Joker, AD, Giannis.
Did you just say Rob Williams is better than Karl Anthony Towns?
I'll take your boy Time Lord over Karl
Oh my
Towns.
god. There's no way I've hyped up Time Lord to be better than Cat. Listen, Cat is top 10, and it's hard to get anybody that's better than Cat. I'm not saying the Cat showed up and is a top dog, but I don't think you can go. Cat or DeAndre Ayton?
Me, Ayton.
I'm not doing that. I think
Karl Anthony Towns is terrible.
Too much of a hate.
Rudy Gobert. I'll take Rudy Gobert over.
There's
Karl
no
Towns.
way. There's no way. Rudy Gobert sucks.
Give me Bam Adebayo.
No shot. This is horrible.
Give me Jarrett Allen from the Cavs over him, bro. Come on.
What did he do? What did he do to you?
They just don't think he's good, bro.
He did good in the playoffs against Memphis.
Yeah, against who? Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson taking turns fouling out. Come on, bro.
I mean, to say that... Okay, whatever.
I'm not a fan of Karl Towns.
I see that, and bias is really taking over a lot of your takes.
Who's next? Denver?
Yeah, the Nuggets.
We're already at 20 minutes. Denver, they'll be fine. They have a solid team, great nucleus, great depth. They just couldn't stay healthy. Now is a problem. Jamal Murray missing the season hurt. Michael Porter Jr. missing the season hurt. I mean, they have Busy Bones, Highland, stud, who they drafted at the end of the first round last year. Guy's a baller. Joker's coming off back-to-back MVPs. I mean, they'll be fine. I ain't worried about Denver.
Yeah, I mean, Jamal and Michael Porter were out, so you kind of...
Yeah, that hurt. And they got just dealt a shitty hand playing the champs in the first round. I mean, we said that from Jump Street, though.
Yeah. The Utah Jazz.
Blow the team up. We talked about on YouTube. Mitchell and Gobert got to go, and you just got to pray to God you can get another Donovan Mitchell and be better because nobody wants to play in Utah.
I think the plan is you really have to appeal to Mitchell, which they're not doing at all.
No.
They're really just literally doing the opposite. You do what Donovan Mitchell wants. I don't think he wants Rudy Gobert there, and if that's the case, you let go of Rudy Gobert because Rudy Gobert is not that good at basketball.
You let Donovan, if you want to keep Donovan Mitchell, let him play the GM and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, because there's nobody else on this team that's really good. Donovan Mitchell is the best player that's probably seen Utah in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's either you rebuild around Donovan Mitchell or you just sell house. Because if you rebuild around Rudy Gobert...
That's a problem.
Rudy Gobert is god-awful of everything. The Mavericks.
Started out right. Traded for Christian Wood. I mean, they didn't give up anything.
No, that was a low price, high upside.
They gave
potential
up
nothing.
Marquise Chris, who was their backup third-string power forward. Trey Burke, who was their fourth guard. And Boban, who didn't play in a late first-round pick for Christian Wood, who's got potential. He just hasn't been healthy.
The only I don't love the Rocket. He probably hasn't been healthy because he's a Rocket.
Yeah,
and that probably does a lot. I don't love the roster here.
I mean, I don't either.
I personally, what I would do is I feel like Spencer Dinwiddie's got to go. You start Luka with Brunson with a Hardaway.
Get paid now.
I
think he's due for an extension.
Or you can get rid of Brunson. I don't really care what you do, but you don't need 2 point guard. If you start Dinwiddie and Brunson, you're kind of. If you start Dinwiddie, Brunson, and Luka, I don't think you want defense at all.
No,
I feel like you're just saying
Luka's a defensive liability. Being Brunson and Dinwiddie are serviceable.
Maybe
Christian Wood's solid on defense. He was a DPOY candidate a couple years ago.
Was he?
I think he was.
I don't think so. I don't think he's that good at defense.
I'm pretty sure he was a DPOY candidate now.
If so, he's really good at basketball because he's 20-10 with the Defensive Player of the Year whatever. I don't think he's ever been that good at that. I don't think he's a defensive dude. He's never had more than a block in a season, except for the Pelicans when he was 23.
Maybe
and he only played 8 games.
Maybe it was one of those
And he's never had more than 1 steal a game.
Maybe it was one of them early mid-season type of deals. I'm not sure. I don't know why I thought that. Oh
boy, not good at defense.
But yeah, they're fine. I mean, they're getting Tim Hardaway back, Christian Wood, and Luka. That's a solid big 3. You just got to continue to develop, like Ryan said. Get rid of Dinwiddie or Brunson, help bring in some better shooters and some better defenders to help make up for Luka's lack of defense and just help spread the ball out to Luka. Because, I mean, they almost got it done with Dorian Finney-Smith and Davis Bertans is the 2 and 3. So, I mean, imagine Luka, Christian Wood, and Tim Hardaway and a couple other pieces. This Mavericks team could be dangerous.
Next up, the Warriors.
Yeah, run it back. I mean,
there's not enough much to say. Ride it till the wheels fall off, and you drafted well, so props to y'all. The Grizzlies. They need number 2, man.
Yeah, I mean, they have the Grizzlies. They have Ja, who's their clear number 1. He's their all-star. Ja's their best player. Then they have a bunch of good role players. Desmond, a bunch of good, bunch of low-end 2s and high-end 3s. Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, Jaren Jackson, who was solid down the stretch, Steven Adams. I mean, they're a solid team.
I think you unload Jaren Jackson and you try to get a solidified number 2.
Jackson can be that guy, I think, though. They drafted him to be that guy, and I think...
How long has he been a Grizzly?
I think this was his 3rd season, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's time for him to be that guy.
And he missed... I think this is his 3rd or 4th season. He missed a season and a half, I think. Or almost, he might have even missed... He missed at least a season, I know that.
I mean, I don't think dude has it to be number 2. We would have seen it by now, I think. And
yeah, I mean, that's fine, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's just me hyping the Grizzlies. What's he been in, 4 years?
4 years. He missed 1 season.
Yeah. I mean...
About 16 points a game. I mean, I think he's a number 3, sure. But he's not Klay Thompson or even Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, those are 2 of the best shooting guards. Those are arguably the best number 2s in the NBA, though.
Okay, I can come up with a lot of better number 2s than them.
You don't have to. I'm just saying. You named, the 2 of the best guys.
Okay, I'll come
just
up
me
with
bust.
more.
That's just me busting your balls. That's fine. I'm just busting your balls. I thought this happened. I'm like, there's no way.
No, that's not happening.
That's why I was like, bro, no way.
He's not Drew Holiday.
It's fair.
He's not James Harden.
That's fair. Again.
He's not DeRozan. He's not Kyrie Irving. He's not John Collins.
If DeRozan's 2, and who's number 1 in Chicago if DeRozan's 2?
He's not either of them. I don't give a damn. He's not either of them. It don't matter.
But the Grizzlies, I think they'll be fine. They have a solid young core. They'll be all right.
They'll be fine. I think they need it too, though. I'll stand on the hill. Probably the same with the Mavericks, but Christian Wood could be. I think Christian Wood has the potential to be.
Fair.
But he could also suck.
Phoenix?
The Suns.
Get rid of Chris Paul and figure it the hell out. Because he ain't getting any younger, and Chris Paul sucks. They got to go bring in KD. Go offer the house for KD, and you sell out for a championship in 2 years.
Get rid of Chris Paul. Stop doing those corny-ass workouts, and humble yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mentally.
After this, not physically, mentally humble yourself. Mentally, well, you gotta do the mentally.
Mentally humble yourself.
But no, seriously, after what they just got embarrassed in the playoffs, they gotta figure it out, bro.
Mentally humble yourself.
Mentally humble yourselves.
Next up, it is the Magic, and I don't give a hoover damn.
I don't give a damn. They're fine. They have Cole Anthony, who's a young stud. They have who's the guy they just drafted? Franz Wagner. I mean, they'll be fine. They have a young core.
Jalen Suggs.
Jalen Suggs is a stud. I mean, I don't want to sit
Jonathan Isaac.
I don't want to talk about these crappy teams.
It's fair. Pistons.
They have Cade. Build around Cade. They have
keep drafting. We're not going to sit here and do free agents for them. Pacers
will be fine. They just traded for Halliburton. They got Buddy Hield. I mean, the Pacers.
Buddy Hield's got to go.
Yeah, Buddy Hield's making a lot of money.
And you can get a lot for him.
Yeah. Send him to the Lakers. He would fit perfect for the Lakers. I've been saying it for 2 years. Send him to the Los Angeles Lakers.
He's probably getting paid too much.
He's getting paid a lot, but I'm saying he can play defense. He can stand on the corner. LeBron drives, dumps it out to Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield with his fucking stupid-ass jump shot. It's cash every time. And he went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, but I mean, if he was like Seth Curry, I don't know how much Seth Curry's making, but He needs to be making like a little bit less. And he can be go be. Wizards.
Figure out with Brad Beal.
Try to
we
keep
really
Brad Beal.
don't know what's going on. I mean, yeah.
The Knicks.
The Knicks. They have a solid young core. Quickly's a stud. RJ Barrett's a stud. I think they got to
quickly fall off the face of the earth.
He's just inconsistent. He's good and then he's okay and then he's good and then he's okay. Julius Randle experiment has to go. He showed he's not that guy this year. I mean, we go through this every year. What big name free agent are the Knicks going to bring in? And it ends up being Julius Randle. I mean,
KD. Ah, shit, Julius.
Zion. Julius Randle. This year it's Brad Beal, Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine. It's all them guys. They probably won't get any of them. The Knicks always have a big market, but I mean, I think they're fine. They got to re-sign Mitchell Robinson. I think that's number one. When he's been healthy, he's been a stud. You have young, good guards. You have RJ Barrett, who came on the scene this year and was pretty good. Quickly's been all right. Julius Randle's got to go. Who else is on that roster? I feel like I'm missing someone.
I don't think so, because I don't think this team is that good.
They have a solid. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
I got a feeling this team is just good because they're bad.
It's fair.
If that makes sense.
Oh,
yeah.
Taj Gibson. They have Derrick Rose.
At least Taj Gibson is cheap.
Nerlens Noel. I mean, yeah, I pretty much covered everybody. But no, the Knicks will be fine. Though. They just got to play their cards right. They have solid young pieces. Obi Toppin. Cardiac Kemba. I mean, they'll be fine.
I don't know if fine is the right word, but
they can figure it out.
Hornets.
I don't know enough about the Hornets to sit here and talk about them. LaMelo's a stud. Miles Bridges is a really good rapper. Montrezl Harrell just got arrested for a lot of drugs.
Somebody said some shit on Twitter about the Hornets.
Dude, them memes are great.
Like, Hornets play basketball as a side hustle. I'm like, damn, yeah. Kelly Oubre.
Best looking dude.
PJ Washington.
Terry Rozier.
The drama in his locker room is probably wild.
Yeah.
With PJ Washington, too. Kelly Oubre. Them two together.
That PJ Washington situation was messy.
It probably still is messy, man. Yeah. I'm sure Kelly Oubre is probably next in line.
I mean, they have a stud point guard. I mean,
they got LaMelo, who's probably going to leave when he can.
Bring in DeAndre Ayton.
LaMelo's leaving, man.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of...
Unless Michael Jordan begs him to stay and signs him to Jordan Brand.
That would help. But unfortunately, Charlotte just ain't the place for... He wants to go to L.A. Anyways, next up, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think they're on the right track. I think they're...
Yeah, they are, bro.
I don't think they can do shit, honestly.
No. I mean...
Just relax. You're 44 and 38.
You have Evan Mobley. You have Darius Garland. Two young studs. You have Jared Allen, who's an amazing role player. He's good for what he does. You have Lauri Markkanen.
Karis LeVert played out
LeVert.
Crazy for him. I mean, I think you have a solid team and just kind of... Sexton, you got to figure that shit out.
Yeah, figure out Colin Sexton. It's probably time to move on from Kevin Love. Cause your losses, take what you can get. Yeah, I'm sure it's good.
$31 million.
I'm sure it's good to have his veteran presence in the locker room, but for the money and for what he brings to the table, it's probably time to cut ties with Kevin Love.
Keep Rondo if you want a veteran presence.
I was gonna say, yeah, you keep Rajon Rondo.
Colin Sexton is a guy you have to figure out. I don't know
how he fits with Garland though. I mean,
they called him Sexland. Which is a cool name.
Sexland, that's a fucking great name. You don't do anything in free agency. You keep your young core. You keep building up through the draft. You'll be fine. Mobley's a stud. Garland proved to be a stud. I think they're on the right path. The Cavs are on the right
before.
path.
The Hawks.
Figure it out. I mean, John Collins and Clint Capella.
I feel like you said figure it out every single time.
For who?
Every single team.
Well, I mean, because a lot of these teams do got to figure it out. Because, I mean, you see it's trade deadline and trade rumors every year. John Collins, Clint Capella. You have your superstar in Trae Young. Outside of him, you have a bunch of average players.
Yeah, because there's really not a player.
You have a bunch of 3s and 4s and 5s. Like, you have a bunch of... You don't have anybody to help Trae Young. Sure, John Collins is good for flashy dunks. Yeah, Clint Capella is good for getting rebounds and playing defense. But...
And you got to pay Trae Young.
That don't win championships.
No.
You need to bring in better players around Trae Young. And is that free agency? I don't know.
I think you can. If you have your locked-in superstar, I think you can bring in free agents.
They have Trae Young just go in and try and bring in a bunch of good players. I mean, Atlanta's got to be a solid market. I mean, Atlanta's a big city.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need to. If you're like confident that your dude is the shit, you can bring in people.
And Trae Young, I feel like, is the shit. So
yeah, like Luka's the shit. Giannis was the shit when they were doing.
Yeah.
When they were bringing people in. Like Drew Holiday, he was a shit, so they felt confident in that.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets. Beg. Get on your knees and beg for Kevin Durant and Kyrie
to stay.
Yes. With Ben Simmons.
With Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond, and Seth Curry.
God. And if they do stay, there is a world where this team is really good.
Yes. And a defensive nightmare. Kyrie, KD, Ben Simmons, Andre Drummond.
I mean, that is a world where I could see myself living in.
But it sounds like Kyrie Irving wants to make a stupid ass amount of money.
I love Kyrie, man.
Brooklyn doesn't want to give him that money.
Kyrie don't give a hoover damn about nobody.
But you don't give Kyrie Irving that money. Who's to say Kevin Durant doesn't snake his way off a team like he did with Oklahoma City? Who's to say that doesn't happen and he doesn't fall right into the 76ers' lap?
He won't go to the Sixers.
Does he even like Harden? The Nets took a bunch of the Sixers rejects already.
Does he even like Harden?
Give him Harden back. I don't care if you tell me that we can get Kevin Durant and have to sacrifice James Harden, go right ahead.
I'm really sorry to break it to you, but the NBA just don't work like that.
Nothing
works like that.
Yeah, I understand, but there's a world where Kevin Durant is going to be a Phoenix Sun or a 76er.
I feel like 2K.
And then it's fine.
I can see him being a Sun, maybe, but they're honestly a Sixer. Well, the Bulls.
It sounds like they're bringing Zach LaVine back,
which is fine.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the Bulls suck.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Bulls will never probably amount to anything ever again because the Derrick Rose experiment didn't work out, and
I'm not sure what Zach LaVine is.
Yes, I mean we saw what DeMar can do. DeMar DeRozan's a baller. That guy can ball. Vucevic was very lackluster, to say the least.
They're literally a team. They're like the regular season echelon team. Where they're just going to win in the regular season and then disappear because they're not. They're like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are both twos.
Like the Trailblazers were with McCollum and Dame. I mean, Dame's better than... they'll breeze through the regular season, get like a third or fourth seed, play one of the better teams that coast through and get eliminated first round.
I think it's different because Dame was going up against Stephen Curry.
That's fair, but I'm saying it's like the same. Like if you like the way I'm looking at it is like this: you have the teams, the Nets, the Warriors, like the teams that just coast through the regular season. They'll play whoever fine. The Trailblazers were always, I feel like 3, 4, 2 seed even at one point, and they got to the playoffs and they lost first round because they had to play a top team. That is the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And I mean, maybe it's not saying much, but to me, that's what the Chicago Bulls are. I mean, Dame's better than all the guys, but
I mean,
it's like the same situation.
The difference is the Trailblazers were just a shitty location with one good guy and couldn't get anybody else to come.
It's fair.
The Bulls are a good location with 2 twos. They're not going to be able to lose. They're not going to be able to break out of that wall because they're going to end up keeping them both, and it's just going to be a messy situation.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Zach LaVine as soon as free agent. I saw something in a report today that said he's going to sign as soon as free agency opens up.
And that's cool. Whatever.
I mean, there's always the guys that do that, like the names that get thrown around, and the guys that always do end up staying. Same with the NFL. So I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, Harden's staying in Philly. I don't know what Beal's going to do. We don't know what Kyrie's going to do. Zach LaVine, we still kind of don't know.
Tell you right now, if Kyrie don't want to be there, Kyrie leaving. He don't give a hoover damn.
Kyrie does whatever. It's Kyrie's world. We just live in it. It's like Jerry Jones.
Shit, dude.
It's Kyrie's world. We just live in it.
Yeah, but Jerry Jones affects me. Kyrie doesn't affect me, so I love it. I'm just sitting back and just enjoying it. The Toronto Raptors.
I'd be honest, I really don't care.
I'm not hating on the Raptors.
Gary Trent, Siakam, Gary Trent.
Gary Trent was absolute stud for him. Scottie Barnes also.
Scottie Barnes was OG
Anunoby. I mean, they have like the young pieces to make it work.
Yeah.
If you give me a team of Gary Trent, Scottie Barnes, and OG Anunoby, I feel like pretty decent about that team considering they're all under 25.
It just sucks they're playing in the East.
I mean, the West is probably still better than the East. Unfortunately, they've been better since the dawn of freaking time.
Michael Jordan says otherwise.
The greatest basketball player of all time says otherwise. Is that what you mean?
It's fair.
But I mean, the Raptors, they're kind of in a similar situation as the Cavaliers.
Yes.
I'd put them as the same team as the Cavaliers. Siakam is Siakam has given me so many different opinions.
I don't know with him. And he's on my
I don't know if dude's
bitch
top 10 player in the NBA or
after
dude
what
sucks.
he did to Embiid, he's on my bitch list. F that guy. I don't care about him.
I don't know where he's at, but I mean, if you look at it on paper, Siakam to some people, he's all NBA, right, or whatever.
I guess, yeah.
So look at it on paper. You have Siakam and Van Vliet. You have your young role players. You're not a bad team. I think you'll be in the playoffs next year.
Wasn't Scottie Barnes Rookie of the Year?
It's.
I'm pretty sure he was Rookie of the Year.
Wasn't it the guy from Cleveland?
No, Mobley was second. Because I remember the Raptors. They did this whole thing in the playoffs because he was hurt.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
I mean, the potential's there.
No, I like the analogy you said. They're the Cavs.
Yeah, they're a stud team that's young, and granted, they'll probably never end up being that good because I don't think they have a superstar. But,
no. Depends how you view
my superstars are
next
upper echelon,
yeah, it's fair.
Household names.
Yeah.
Superstar gets thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
People believe Zach LaVine's a superstar. I just don't.
That's fair.
But it's all how perspective. Sixers.
Next.
Sixers.
Next. Nah. Sixers figure the F out. Tobias Harris, you gotta go. Goodbye. Tobias Harris can kiss my red rosy ass. Tobias Harris, goodbye.
I've been saying this shit, so it's just good to hear.
Tobias Harris has to go. I mean, yeah, the experiment was fun. He did okay in the playoffs last year. He didn't do enough. Matisse, he's got potential. He was playing like Ben Simmons in the playoffs. He was scared to produce on offense because he was in a slump and he was just scared to shoot or do anything. So he was just playing like a bitch, Ben Simmons. You have Harden for one more year. You have Embiid for the next, I think, 2 or 3 years, or maybe even he got extended to 24 or 26. So in theory, Embiid is under contract with the team for the next.
But he's running out of time.
Yes.
And that's nothing against him. It's just physics.
Yeah, got to figure it out. You have James Harden, who is Drew Holiday. Okay, that's fine. You need to bring in your Chris Middleton. Whether it's Brad Beal, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell.
Shut the hell up.
You got to bring him in. You have Joel Embiid, best center in the NBA. You got Maxey, who, to be fair, I forgot about. Forgot about Maxey when I was listening to all the point guards. The Sixers, their biggest problem has been for the Sixers since the goddamn dawn of time, since I've been paying attention to basketball since I was in 7th grade. Depth. Zero depth for the Sixers. They have none.
But to be fair, you got rid of it for Harden.
And then I understand. But even when we had Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, and Embiid, we had no depth. To be fair, we had 3 great players, but when they came out of the game, zero depth. It's the LeBron effect.
And I feel
LeBron goes off the court, they're up by 20. LeBron is on the court, they're winning by 20. You take LeBron out for 2 minutes, they cut the lead to 5.
I feel like that's the problem with being in Philly. Because I feel like you put LeBron in the Lakers with his big 3, and a shit ton of people are going. Malik Monk is a decent role player. He went for no money at all.
Yeah.
Kendrick Nunn went for no money at all. Who the hell's coming to Philly for no money at all? To be with that's the location thing for me. And yeah, I mean, the Bucks, they had to build that shit because they ain't buying no role players.
They bought Drew Holiday.
Yeah, but they got him $20 million.
That's
nobody's signing for a minimum to go be in Philly.
But
they'll sign for a minimum to go be in LA, Miami, shit like that.
Again,
so y'all are set
It's just a
shitty
Philly's a big city, but it's not Los Angeles or Miami or New York, so it's
I think
it's probably the 2nd, 3rd tier of cities.
I think the Sixers what I would do personally is I guess Embiid's got to stay. It's you don't have enough time.
No, you have we said it when they traded for Harden. This season coming up for the NBA. That's it for the Sixers. The Sixers' year to win the finals was the year Kawhi hit the luckiest shot of all time. Sixers would have won the finals that year, and I'll die on that hill.
I was a 2K person, and really did this shit. I clear house, but I'm not doing that. I'll do the realistic thing. You got to keep Embiid. Harden, I think, can go. Maxey's got to stay. I would start building around Maxey now because there is a very short period of time when it's literally just him. And he's going to be the face.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think the Sixers, they just got to figure it out. They can't get rid of. They're not getting rid of Harden. They can't. They gave up too much to give up on Harden.
It's the same
after a year,
situation.
and it
Like,
sucks.
it
sucks.
He's already a Sixer. You can't just get rid of him.
But now it's just a fact of just go in. I mean, spend your money. If we have money, spend it. Get Tobias off the books. Shop Matisse around. See what we can get. Bring in a bunch of role players. Bring in a bunch of shooters and a bunch of depth to surround Embiid and to play with Harden. Like we've been. Let Harden facilitate. Make it so James Harden doesn't have to go score 30, 40 points a game. That's why you have Embiid. That's why you have Maxey. That's why you bring in these other guys that can make up for it.
The problem is, like, there's no shooters, really.
I
kind of
know.
got rid of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Sixers got to figure it
But,
out,
I mean,
though.
in the offseason, you can bring in role players, shooters, so it should work. The Bucks.
The Milwaukee Bucks, I think just run it back. I mean, you're getting Chris Middleton back healthy.
You got Big Shot Bob still.
Bobby Poor. Maybe it's time to move on from Brook Lopez. I would probably say it's time. I mean, you have your big four. Not big four, but I mean, you have Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Bobby
I think
Portis.
bring PJ Tucker back, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad that breakup was, but...
Let Giannis play the 5. Let him play point center. PJ Tucker at the 4.
I love
Chris
PJ
Middleton at
Tucker
the
Milwaukee
3.
version. It was great.
I mean, I think Milwaukee's fine. They're in the same situation as, like, Denver for me. Like, they're fine. Like, there's not really much more you can do except just maybe bring in, like, a PJ Tucker or kind of just keep your same nucleus. So you're getting guys back healthy and figure it out.
I can see that. I think they're a step above.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, there's, like, by situation, though. Like, situationally,
Yeah.
it's like Denver. Like, you're getting your guys back healthy. Like, you'll be fine. You fucking jumped like shit with that chair.
I didn't jump, but I looked up. The Celtics...
Run back.
You're young. Just keep
you're
developing.
Fine. 24-year-old Tatum, 24, 25-year-old Jaylen Brown. You're fine.
19-year-old Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Little Tatum coming up.
And
the Miami Heat.
The Miami Heat. I think they're done. I mean, yeah, you sure you'll have Jimmy Butler, but you're looking at like Timberwolves Jimmy Butler. They'll maybe squeeze in the playoffs at the 8th seed. Yeah, they do have Bam Adebayo, who I would probably put a little bit on the same tier as Karl Towns, maybe above.
I think.
I mean, yeah, sure, you have a bunch of role players, but I mean, let's be real. Max Strus your starting point? Or Kyle Lowry blows.
It's just good coaching.
They just broke up with PJ Tucker. That's a big blow. I mean, Kyle Lowry absolutely is terrible at basketball. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's time, like you said on a YouTube video we dropped, it's time to take a step back.
Yeah, I think this team, like the Miami team Heat, it's probably over. Will they be back? Yeah, they're in Miami for 1. 2, they have great coaching.
Coach, yeah.
Jimmy Butler went there, so people will go there.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler's absolute stud. Never disrespect Jimmy Butler.
They're a team I can see going and bringing in like a Donovan Mitchell, trading for like a Donovan Mitchell.
God damn it!
Like I could literally just pick, like I could picture that. Like them breaking news, Miami Heat trade like
I would love that shit.
Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson.
I would love that
and
because
some
I
picks
rock
for
with both
Donovan
of them
Mitchell.
guys. So
That would be disgusting. I'd be pissed.
I rock with both of them guys. So I
mean I could see that happening. Miami's a team that would do that. Like they have the depth to make the trade.
Yeah, because they're a team of depth.
With a great coach, with Jimmy Butler, with Bam Adebayo. I mean, you have your big two in Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. They showed they can put Max Strus and what's the other guy's name?
Vincent?
In
Gabe Vincent?
Gabe Vincent. They can put them in and play point guard and be fine with Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, and Bam Adebayo. I mean, it's fine. You can, with the coaching they have and with the players they have around them, they can put anybody in anywhere.
Jimmy Butler's also run out of time, so you might.
Yes. Jimmy Butler can do it by himself. He proved it.
He tried to.
He took D. Wade and Rajon Rondo in Chicago to the playoffs. He took Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons to the playoffs with fucking, what the hell's his name? Brett Brown is the Sixers coach and Elton Brand running the show. I mean, he took the Sixers to a deep playoff run, almost beat the Raptors, who won the finals that year. Jimmy Butler's a stud. They're a team that can afford to go move for a Brad Beal, Zach LaVine even, a Donovan Mitchell. They're a team that can make that move and can afford it, and I think would benefit from it, even though giving up the depth. I think Miami could benefit from that a lot.
Sure.